peace, love, and light, my beautiful gods and goddesses. I am Queen Spirit. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Veg Me Please, because you know that this is all that you need. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, I want to come on here real quick and talk to you about this full moon energy. And even though the full moon was yesterday, you are still able to utilize the energy of it for the next 3 days. So I want you to be able to get the most out of this energy, because this energy is all about self-awareness, self-improvement, and self in all, because without you, nothing else matters. I know even myself, I give so much to this universe that I tend to forget about me. I put everything else before me, even Facebook, Instagram, like everything. And I'm learning to put me before anything. So I'm learning to prioritize me in this world, in this universe, in this situation. So that's what this full moon energy is all about. And one of the things that you usually do during the full moon is we release a lot of things. But I want to tell you some ways of not only just releasing, but being okay with letting it go. I think one of the hardest things that I had to realize and had to accept on this journey was I had to let go of some things that I truly had to know that it was not going to help me to get to where I'm trying to go. And it was, you know how you kept clothes that were too small for you because you thought maybe you might fit into them again one day, and that's fine. That's totally fine. But some sizes we were able to embrace and probably never see again. But with me, I was a total opposite, because I was always a heavier girl. And I would always discourage my weight loss journey by holding on to bigger clothes, because I would always say, well, what if I would get back big again, and then I would have to go back out and buy these big clothes again. I know I look good in the clothes when I was at the size that I was. So yeah, I'll just keep these just in case I get big again. This journey is not for the weak. Let me say that. This journey is not for the weak, because one of the things me and my husband was talking about was this whole woke epidemic, pandemic, whatever you want to call it. And I'm totally there for it. I'm totally embracing it. I'm totally there for it, because anything that helps us to elevate as a whole, I'm there for it. But we were just talking about how many people say they're woke, and it's like, I just feel like with this whole woke situation, I don't say I'm woke. I say I'm aware. Because I feel like you can never truly be awakened until you become aware of yourself. And once you truly become aware of self, and you tap into who you are, I think that then you would truly awaken. Now, what I do believe is different levels of being woke. I do believe that. I don't think everybody is all the way woke. I think some people are still, a little drowsy. But I really feel like when you truly are awakened, you become aware of yourself, and you start working on that inner self. And that's when I feel like you are totally awoken. So with that being said, when you are on your spiritual journey and you really want to elevate, you want to really let go of things, you have to get inside yourself and be okay with letting things go. I had made a post a couple of days ago, I think, and I was just saying that a lot of times we want to hurry up and let stuff go because we just want to get to where we're going. We want to feel better. That's the one thing about it, is when you're sick, you want to feel better. And you want to feel how it feels to feel the opposite of what you're feeling right now. And I totally understand it. I have been there. I am still there. But what we do is we set ourselves up for failure. Because what we'll do is we'll go back in that trash and we will try to salvage something that we think might have a chance. And that's why it's so important to sit with yourself, to journal, to really, what I did yesterday, before this, and this is the first time I've ever did it, because every full moon I always write down some things that I want to let go, and I burn it. But what I never did was I never prayed before I wrote down what I wanted to release. And I truly had a conversation with the Most High, and I said, I want to be able to write down stuff that truly comes from my heart. I don't want it to be out of my ego. I don't want it to be out of anger, a regret, or anything like that. I really want it to be truly from my heart, and I'm really truly ready to let it go. And some things that we feel have some kind of savageness to it, we tend to hold on to relationships, clothes, a lot of things. And that was one of the hardest things that I had to be okay with, was letting go, being okay with a relationship has ran its course. Now, does that mean that sometime in the near future that we will not cross paths again? It does not mean that. And I'm totally open to that. But what I was seeing myself doing was constantly trying to better myself, still on this journey, because I was still feeling like maybe it was something that I did. And I hold myself totally accountable for every action that I have consciously and unconsciously did. Because sometimes we don't know we're being offensive. Sometimes we don't know we're being angry. Sometimes we be so consumed inside of us that we don't know what we're putting out in the universe. And that's a conversation I have many times with my husband, because he's journeying and he's learning to not fight every entity that comes his way. He knows, it's like we're like the same and different. We're like yin and yang. Everything that comes my way, I used to get so emotional, so wrapped up in it, so oh my God. And now what I have realized is people are battling some battles they don't even know they're battling. So when a person comes at you aggressively, or just out of the blue, out of nowhere, like left field, and you really know truly you didn't do anything, you have to allow them to go ahead, and you have to have tough skin. You have to have your barrier around you. Let that energy go ahead and pass and not absorb you. Because what that energy is doing is looking for someone to heal it. It's looking for some source to either keep it amplified or to heal it. And only thing you can do is send it peace and love and healing energy. And that's what I have learned to do. I have learned to cut the cords and send peace, love, and healing energy to every situation that I was okay with letting it go. So I didn't, and that was my way of being okay with letting everything go. I prayed first and asked God to please guide my thoughts and my heart while I wrote everything on the paper. And I wrote everything down. And I also wrote that I wanted to be wrapped in loving, healing energy. And I took it outside and I held it in my left hand, which is my most dominant hand. So I held it in my left hand and I talked to it. I talked to every energy. I can't even remember now because I let it go, and that's how amazing it is. If you truly know, if you truly believe in what you're doing, you'll totally let it go. So I don't remember what I put on that paper yesterday, and it was just yesterday, because I truly let it go. Because that's, like I said, I really want to be the best. I want to see how far I can go. I want to see how high I can elevate. So when I realize that I'm holding on to stuff that's not helping me to elevate, I have to let it go. I have to learn how to let it go and being okay with it. And like I said, the way that I was okay with it was I sent it healing and loving energy. So I sent my love because I still love some of those situations. But at the end of the day, I let it go so that they can journey and heal. And if like I said, if it's meant to be, our paths will one day cross again, and we will both be in an amazing place where we can embrace who we truly are. Right now, we can't embrace who we are, because we're still journeying. We're still fighting battles. Me too. Me too. I know I'm up here looking amazing, like, honey, just stepped off the runway, the one-way show. But honey, I go through battles too. This is an everyday thing to get to the promised land, and that's my destination. Like, I ain't doing this shit for nothing. I want to cross the finish line. I ain't giving up. I want my gold platinum medal, honey. Yes. Like, I'm not giving up. I done been through too much to give up. So no. But we all are journeying, and sometimes some people need to journey without you. And at one moment it hurt. It was disappointing. But now I'm accepting of it, because I look at the bigger picture. Boy, we are going to be amazing. Amazing. And I'm excited. And I can't wait. I'm truly happy for all of us in our situations. So I held my paper in my left hand, and I talked to it, and I told it, this is why I need to let you go. Because I wanted to make sure still that I was okay with letting it go. And I told it, like, I'm okay with letting you go, because I have to. You holding me back, you holding me down, and I got a purpose. I'm journeying, and I'm setting the tone for the next 20 generations to come after me. And if I was to leave today, they gonna be fucked up, and I don't want them to be. I don't. I want them to be good, because I'm tired of us being fucked up. So this is why I gotta let you go. But I don't want you to harm no one else. I want you to be put to rest, and be peaceful, and be loved, and be healing. So that way, when we put you back in the earth and you blossom again, you will be able to encourage and not discourage. Ooh, y'all hear me? I'm a whole poet out here. Don't let me add another title to my name, honey. Yes, I'm an author. I'm a vegan chef. I'm an inspirational motivator. And I am a motivator of self-awareness and self-love. Y'all better give me some. Come on now. This is a woman, because that's who I am today. A goddess, a woman who the odds were so stacked against me, but I was determined, and I'm still determined, to get to the promised land. But let me tell you something, you can too. We gonna get there together, honey, and we gonna sip very expensive vegan wine. The best vegan wine the money can buy. Yes, we're gonna have a great time. But back to it. You hold it in your left hand, and you talk to it, and you like a conversation, because these are emotions, these are energies. They hear you, they feel you. Okay, and so the next thing I did, I never burned. I don't think I've ever burned my papers in the house. I usually would come right outside my door, because I used to live in an apartment, and I used to try to be super discreet. So I would do mine on my patio. But what I did yesterday was I kind of went a little further away from my house. And then I lit my paper, and I let the energy be released. Now, the one thing that I did not know, which I learned yesterday, that I did yesterday, was once you light your paper and it burns, say your peace, love, and light to it, you turn around and you walk away. You don't look back. And that's why it's important to do it away from your house, because it's probably going to be hard for you not to go back outside and look at it. So I made sure I went to a whole nother destination. If you would like to know my destination, please leave me a comment in the bottom of this box. Oh, and let me say, if you haven't did it yet, push like and subscribe, because you know that I got the information that you need to help you on this magnificent journey. But if you would like to know where I went, because I don't want people all up in my comments coming for me, because I am where I am on my spiritual journey. The one thing for every video that I put out, my purpose and my purpose for each video, my intention for each video is to help each and every person, no matter where you are on your journey, spiritually or not, whatever you are on your journey, this isn't about um, your religion. This isn't about none of that. This is about you as a human being. We're taking off all those other titles, but you as a spirit of God. That's who I'm talking to. I'm just talking to you, not your religion, not your religious beliefs, not your faith, not none of that. I'm talking to you as a person. And that's the intentions of any of my videos. That's the purpose of any of my videos, is to reach the person. So no matter where you are on your spiritual journey, you can benefit from what I'm saying. Okay? So, but if you want to know more in detail of, because I'm telling you, I was serious about mine, of where I went to burn my paper, definitely leave me a comment, and I will personally let you know if you with that. But yeah, I took it far away, and I burnt it, and I made sure that, like, I was so strategic with mine, honey. I made sure that the path that I had to get back to my automobile. Oh, look at my thing. I guess the birds want me to acknowledge them. Let me tell you, I have some bird feeders up. And before I even had the bird feeders, we always had blue jays, cardinals. I know everybody has cardinals, but blue jays, cardinals, and I can't remember the name of this other little bird that's always in our yard. So I got some things from the dollar store, and I made me some bird feeders. And they just, the red cardinals just comes and sings me song. Actually, before I made this video, I actually caught one on the bird feeder, and it's so amazing how God works and how this universe works. I was in my thoughts and I was thinking about a situation, and I tried to always look at the cup as half full. I am totally an optimist. Like, I always think it's a good that comes out of every situation. But sometimes fear gets in me, and I do sometimes think about the what ifs. And that was the moment that I was at, and it was so amazing. As many times as I've caught other birds on this bird feeder, while I'm sitting right here, and it's literally 2 feet away from me. And this is why I said it was so amazing, because, you know, birds and animals usually don't come around folks unless your energy is amazing. And then that was one of the things that had me all in awe. But the fact that this bird was on this bird feeder, and I was in my thoughts, and it just seemed like, now you hear them singing in the back, but just imagine that right next to you. It was amplified to where it made me snap out of what I was thinking about. And I started recording it because I wanted to catch it so that I can post it. And then I think I let it run for about 45 seconds. I forgot what the hell I was thinking about. Look how amazing. If you just let go and release, God will push you and move you to where you need to be. But he can't move you because you're too heavy. You're way down, baby. You're way down. Let go. Take out that garbage, baby. Let it go. One thing I know for certain, one thing I know for sure, God has an amazing life for you. Yes. He is not going to let you envision something. He's not going to let you experience something. He's not going to let you taste it, feel it, have any kind of emotions for something amazing and not give it to you. You feel that because you earned that. You deserve that. You have had that. I'll never forget. I never stopped working during COVID. My job accommodated me to make sure that I stayed on the books. And I was grateful for it. But I made some great money because they had us doing so many different projects during COVID. And I'll never forget, the biggest check that I had thus far was a check from this job, was a check for $10,000. Actually, it was $9,900 something. $10,000. One check. I was so appreciative of that check that I gave it away. If you was my friend, my foe, my family, You should have been at that time. I gave it away. I don't care who it was. If somebody called me and asked me, hey, can you loan me? No, here, you can have. No, here, I was calling people. I called my son and said, hey, baby, I'm about to send you, X amount of dollars. It it was so crazy that he questioned why I was sending it to him. But that's the place that I was at, because I've always been a person that was a giver. And I always knew that I was told by a very smart uncle that don't hold your pocketbook closed too tight, because when you do that, you don't allow money to be able to flow in. So I gave it away. I think the only thing I don't even think I bought myself out of that check, because I didn't need nothing. And that was another reason why I gave it away. I didn't think about saving it. I didn't think about paying my bills up for years or months or whatever, how much $10,000 would have paid them up to. I didn't think about none of that, because I was getting plentiful checks. So that was just the biggest one that I had got thus far. Bigger ones are to come. There are more to come. They're coming in. They're coming in as we speak. They're coming in. You feel it? I feel it. They're coming. They're hitting my bank account simultaneously because I've made room for them. They coming. But yeah, I gave it away. And we have to be okay with letting go and releasing. And it's funny because I look back now and I be like, man, I gave away $10,000 like it wasn't nothing. I can just imagine how it's going to be at the top. Not saying that I'm just going to be around here giving away money, but I'm going to be at a place where I'm okay with helping but not hindering. I'm going to help you get on your feet, but I'm going to help you stay on your feet. I'm going to show you the way. Like Tupac said, follow me. I'm going to show you. I'm going to help you get on your feet. But you ain't going to keep coming back for me to help you get on your feet, because you're going to stay on your feet, because I'm going to teach you. Because what I learn, you going to learn. You going to learn. Because and it's all about us. We are the missing piece to this puzzle. We are the missing piece to this chaos. All this chaos in your life is because of you. The one thing that I said with myself yesterday, as I did my let go ceremony, was I came to grips with my son's passing. And y'all listen to me when I tell y'all this. I hold myself accountable for my son passing. Why? Not because I was a bad mother. No, I was a sick mother. So I know that I wasn't well when I had my kids. When my kids were young, no, I was not well. If he could experience the mother that I am today, woo. But he will be, because he's experienced it through the generation that he left behind. My son, my daughter, my grandkids. So he's able to see it. But because of him, losing him, it allowed me to be able to wake up, to be able to say, okay, you know what? Something ain't right. If I didn't lose him, I would have never thought something wasn't right. I probably would have one day, because I probably would have got tired of going through a vicious cycle. It's like I was just going around in a circle. Everything that came in my life just kept coming back full circle. It just came back in a different costume. And I was tired of getting the same energy, but in a different costume. So when I lost him, it made me start looking deeper into myself. And so my purpose is to kill the bitch depression. Yeah, depression is a bitch. And that's my purpose. I came here for that, because when I look back on my bloodline after losing my son, I look back on as far as I could see, and that's all I see is depression. My mother was an alcoholic. I have a whole slew of family members that are alcoholics. My granny was an alcoholic. Only time I did not see my granny drunk was Sunday mornings when we went to church. And she might not have got drunk on Sunday, or she might have got drunk after we went to bed, because we always had to go to bed early because of school. But we spent most of Sundays at church. And that was, even though I didn't like church then, church was so boring. I embraced it, because that was the only time I would see my granny not drunk. So I was eager to go to church with her on Sundays because I knew she would be my grandmother. She would let me go out in her garden and let me see her in her garden on Sundays. She would cook Sunday dinners and the one thing about it was, I don't care how drunk she was, boy, we had dinner. And she would cook Sunday dinner on Sundays. The red bird is back. I wish I could turn my camera, but I don't want to take it off this stand. Oh, it's back. Y'all probably gonna hear him kind of loud. But yeah, that was the only time I would see my granny not drunk. And I was talking to my husband about it yesterday. It's crazy because the whole neighborhood knew that granny was my granny, and they all knew my granny was a drunk. And I don't know if it was embarrassing or not. I guess the most important part, I guess the most embarrassing part was the fact that all my friends knew that my granny was drunk. But when I look back on my bloodline, I had to, for her to be an alcoholic and then to hear my mother and my aunt's story about she was an alcoholic back then. Who would want to live their entire life drunk? She was trying to mask a pain or a feeling of something, and it was through liquor, to the point to where it became an addiction because that's the only thing that helped her mask it. And I watched my mother become an alcoholic after my grandfather died. And that was terrible. Like, because she didn't know how to deal with grandpa passing. So she became an alcoholic. And an abusive alcoholic. Verbally abusive alcoholic. Just like my granny. And it was like, it's a cycle. And then now I lose my son because of depression. And I look at my family members and look at them journeying. And I'm like, dang, man, this is not going to stop. Because we're still birthing into this seed of depression. No, we're not birthing healthy, wholesome, poverty-free, emotional, undamaged kids. We're not. We're still here in this realm, in this bottom feeder segment of our lives, with the depression, with the poverty, with the abuse. You know how long it took for me to be acceptable of the fact that it's not okay for a man to put his hands on a woman when I was raised and that's all I saw? Hey, but the thing is with me, it was, I never thought it was okay. So what I did mentally was prepare myself for every man that came into my life, that I would whoop their ass. Like, I would envision having fights with these dudes. Literally. And then sit back and wonder why I'm sitting up here fighting these dudes. Because I created it. So we have to be able to learn how to let go of everything that we were recently taught, everything that we recently experienced, everything that we recently envisioned. I realized that I have a second chance of changing my path through my daughter, my stepdaughter. Because when I look at her and her journey, she is where I was at 10. I was bullied on, I was picked on in school, and I never stood up for myself. And I never had nobody talk to me like I talked to her. And you know what she did today after I had to talk with her? She hugged me and she said, "Mommy, thank you. I really needed that." She been hugging me all morning. I told her she's like a Care Bear. She just want to hug. But she said, "Thank you, Mommy. I needed that," because I told her, I don't care how many times I go to your school or your daddy go to your school. Them kids will never respect you until you stand up for yourself. And then she said, "Well, what if one of them hit me and we fight and they beat me up?" I said, "See, that's your first problem. You only thinking about the what ifs because you're scared." We can never, don't let the what ifs stop you. We have to learn how to tap into our intuition and believe, like my grandmother said, follow your first mind. Believe that your intuition, your Holy Spirit, your spirit guides, the ones that are talking to you, are telling you the truth. And walk out on faith and know it. And I told her, I said, "Honey, when you go to school, in your head, you know you can whip anybody's goddamn on behind. And if somebody touch you, you whoop them like like they stole something from you. And you have to learn how to stand up for yourself. If somebody sits up here and says something negative to you, don't sit up here and allow that. Because what she does is she comes home and she's all sad and she said, Mommy, this person did this. And I was like, what did you say back? And I know we are here to put out peace, love, and light. And that is okay. But sometimes you have to fight those demons back to back. And she ain't at the age where I'm at, where I can sit up here and be like, you know what, peace and blessings. No, not yet. She's going to get there. But the one thing she does have to do is she can't sit up and allow life to just life her. She has to learn how to stand up on her own 2 feet. She has to learn how to find her purpose. She has to learn how to look in the mirror and see who she truly is and not what everybody else says she is. And that's what I'm teaching her. And I wish someone would have taught me that. I wish someone would have told me to look in the mirror and told me I was beautiful. I wish someone would have took me and called me beautiful when I was growing up. Or told me I had a beautiful smile. Or told me don't believe what the kids are saying. Or showed me how to properly take a bath. Properly how to get dressed. Properly how to be a woman. And that's no shade to my mother, my grandmother, my aunts, nobody. Because if they didn't know how to give out that type of help, how could they give it to me? They weren't well either. And it's okay. It is okay to say that you were sick. Now, come on, let's go to the doctor and get healed. And like I said, it's okay to let some things go. Let them flow. Send them to the infirmary where they can go ahead and heal while you're healing. And maybe once they're healed and you're healed, your paths will cross and y'all can be where y'all need to be or want to be, if that's what's wanted. Because right now, it might seem like you don't want that person in your life. But your higher self probably do. Your higher self probably enjoys their higher selves. But you'll never know until you get there. So, be okay with releasing. Be okay with letting go. And then once you burn your paper, you turn around, you walk away, do not look back. Honey, I'm telling you, I ain't even look in the rearview mirror. That's how determined I was. Like, I literally was straight tunnel vision, straight ahead until I got back home. And then I came home and then I did me some sage. I released anything that might have attached itself to me. And I let it go. I let it go. So definitely tap in. Tap in. No matter where you're at on your journey, no matter what your beliefs are, tap into this energy of being okay with releasing, letting go, and truly fearlessly freely walking through this universe like the gods and the goddesses you are. Hold your head up high and walk. Strut. Go. Because that's who we are. That's who we are. We are magnificent spiritual beings. And we have a purpose. And it's to get this goddamn on place back in line. So let's go. Soul Tribe, I love y'all. Peace and blessings and healing to each and every one of you. Mwah.